Hello, everybody. Sorry, I didn't think I hit the start button. Um, I hope you all are doing well. We're going to take another dive into the free to play today, but I'm actually really excited because I have a lot to talk about. Just a lot of general kind of not really account related stuff, but like free to play perspective on a couple of different events that have been going on. Um, I'm trying to think of what I want to start with. First thing I'm going to start with is going to be the Prism Shard event. I'm gonna be honest, really disappointing. The previous one that we had, I was super excited about. I did a couple tournaments and I got an epic from that event, which on a free to play account is really, really good. Um, this is an event that I really wanted to take advantage of on this account, but they didn't let me. So the previous tournament, which was Sand Devil, was not one that was really attainable for my account. Could I have done it? Yes, I can. I'm able to do the very first stage of Sand Devil with just a random team. Who did I use in it? Yeah, this was the team that I used in Sand Devil. I would definitely take Armiger out and put um, Coffin Smasher in, and probably see a slightly better result. But still 90 turns at the lowest difficulty, that's not a lot of points. That's a lot of energy that I would have spent. And I thought because they don't give you any information about the event, I expected, and I'm just going to double check that here. Those are crystal offers. And that's just, there's no, here's the how to get them tournaments. I would love to see more clarity around these tournaments. Did the new button isn't out yet. That's gonna like put all this stuff together. Anyways, what is disappointing about this event is that I couldn't even pull one crystal shard. That's all I'm asking for on a free to play. Um, I'm not asking for a lot, but if I finish this dragon tournament, I get 20. And Sand Devil was worth 40, which would have been enough to pull one shard, but Sand Devil wasn't within my reach. And I thought there might be more events that would offer crystals. There are none. Arena's not offering any. Oh, sorry, my game is just being a little slow right now. This Dungeon Divers didn't offer any crystals. The Champion Training Tournament didn't offer any crystals. So nothing offered any of the crystals. Um, I doubt this Ice Golem tournament is going to offer any, and the reason I say that is because the Ice Golem event starts in 10 hours? Or 9 hours. But the event ends in 1 day, 7 hours. So the event would end before the Ice Golem tournament would end. So getting crystals from it wouldn't make sense. Um, I would be disappointed then if they did have crystals come out in the Ice Golem tournament because I'm no longer going to finish this dragon tournament. Um, I ran dragon, I think, all day today. I got 1,200 points. That's not bad. I mean, you can see that's pretty respectable compared to other individuals within my tier. But going for these points up here to the 2,700, I don't know that I have enough energy naturally to do that. So I'm not going to. As much as I want to pull from this pool, especially because a lot of these champions have added value now that we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, I'm really disappointed. Um, a lot of people, so in the community, a lot of people have been disappointed in this event from even like other content creators, I'll say, have been disappointed in past summon pool events. Um, the last one that happened, I was really cool with it. I was like, hey, this is a great. I spent some energy, I got gear, but I also had a chance to get an epic, and it turned out to not be an epic that I really liked. But I had that opportunity, and I was able to recognize that and appreciate it and be happy about it. for this one, it was a little disappointing for me. Um, and all I want is a chance. You know, I'm not asking to be handed one of the legendaries, but this is what makes the game fun. Like I was excited to play the free to play, and you know, I enjoy making this content, and I'm excited to play my free to play account. But it was like a different level of excitement. You know, it was like, oh man, I get a chance to try and push to get one of these uh epics that are pretty decent. Like, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna go do dragon, and then when the next event comes out, I'm gonna push for that. You know, I had a goal in mind on my account, only to find out that all the events that came out, none of them offered the crystals. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to voice my kind of opinion on that, because I think this could be a very good free to play feature, where you're playing to earn a chance at better than average epics, and certainly better than average legendaries. Um, which I think is fun. And maybe it would make people get power too fast, and that's why raid is making it so much harder to do. I don't know, but yeah, I would really like to see that be a little bit more free to play player friendly. Um, uh, just a little bit more. I'm asking for one. I'm not asking for us to be able to get like seven of them and just pull away. Like, if you put them at the highest reward on a tournament, yes, but maybe give us some extra tournaments or something. It felt like two tournaments is all I get to go for this, and to not know that only two tournaments. Like, if you tell me which ones, maybe they did it on a post on Discord or something. Maybe I didn't read closely enough. So part of it could be on me. I'm willing to accept that I'm an imperfect person. So, but from my perspective, I was counting on these other events and none of them came through. And, you know, had I known that Sand Devil was the only option, maybe I do not waste the energy, but maybe I do use energy in that tournament. So I made decisions with lack of information, and that could be, that's on me, right? But maybe there was more clarity there, and I just didn't see it. I'm going to do a really, really quick check now that we're talking about this, to check raid announcements and see if they did anything. Events. So you'll get, see, this is going to make me mad. You get Prism Crystals from events and tournaments. What event gave me Prism Crystals? Are you going to tell me that this Summon Rush is going to give me Prism Crystals for an event that ends in a day? Like, I'm not mad about it. I'm just confused. I just would have let a little bit more clarity, and I could have spent energy, I could have spent time playing their game, and gone for the and completed the event. So, slightly disappointed in that, but we'll move on. Other interesting stuff that's going on that I'm really excited about is the fusion. So, if you don't know, there is a new permanent fusion in the game. Now, what does this mean? Permanent fusion is like Broadmaw, Razin Scarhide, Relic Keeper. You can fuse these champions. Or sorry, well, Razin is permanent in quotations. So Broadmaw and Relic Keeper you can fuse to your heart's content. You can just constantly fuse them if you want to. For Razin, you can fuse him once and then he goes away, but he will be available for you to fuse for the rest of your game. If you never choose to fuse him, he will just always be there waiting and ready to be fused. So, that's the same thing with Lady. I'm gonna call her Lady Mikage. I'm sure that's wrong. I don't know, but it makes sense to me, and I'm gonna go with it. So, let's talk about this fusion, because there's some really cool stuff here. One is a lot of these epics were just featured in the Crystal event. which um, is why I was like, man, I don't think she was. I was like, man, it'd be fun to pull crystals and get one of these that could fuse into something better for me later. Two, it's not just a permanent fusion now for Lady Mikage. We technically have three permanent legendary fusions now. Um, and it was funny because in my brain, when I was thinking about when they announced the permanent fusion, I was like, it's going to be four legendaries. And I was so hyper focused on the getting the mythic that I didn't even think about the power that they would be giving the player base by introducing the opportunity to fuse four different legendaries. Um, I in my brain it would have been all epics here, right? And so, but to be able to get legendaries through a permanent fusion like that would be really, really good, overpowered almost. So I kind of like that they mixed it up here where you can do epics on this side and then legendaries on this side. It also is more reflective because sacrificing four legendaries for a mythical champion, unless it was like four Pixneals or something, I don't know that anybody would really want to do that. So, um, and I do think pretty much all of these champions are kind of worth giving up. I think so. I meant to pull them up beforehand, but I don't know. I know Lil Queen. I'm familiar with his name, but I don't know kind of like his overall. Yeah, he's not. So he's a 3 on Hell Hades site. I don't know that this is a champion that I would be going nuts for. Did I? I have to check. No. Okay. Where is he? Yeah. Okay. Never got him. All right. When this event when I saw this was announced and I saw there was a moment of panic where I was like, did I sacrifice any of those with my kind of fast and loose thought process behind epics? So, anyways, um, I think I did sacrifice one of these rares. Um, what I'm excited about is not necessarily like getting Lady Mikage, but some of these other champions are the legendaries are not bad. Now Tatsu I don't think was that interesting. Transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target, fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. So each hit, so that's interesting for like Dragon. Um and and asleep on all enemies, fills this champion for each debuff. Before attacking, removes all debuffs from this champion and steals all buffs from the target enemy. Okay. So it feels kind of PvP-ish. I'm gonna see what kind of Hell Hades kind of thinks of it. Yeah, yeah, kind of. I see. Yeah, same thought about it being good on Dragon. I could see it being a good. This would make Tatsu would make a really good spider tank on the right affinity. Um, you'd have to build her kind of tankier than I think she currently is. You'd have to build her really tanky. But for her to on her A1 get rid of debuffs on her and then also remove all debuffs from them on a 4-turn cooldown could get them to get some of those poisons off from the spiders. Not like the best, there's better spider tanks for sure, but I don't know, that was one of the first things that came to mind for me. However, I do think Kira the Watcher is pretty strong. So Decrease attack on the A1. That's good for clan boss, as we've already talked about. 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs. That's not really relevant. Also has a 75% chance of placing decreased accuracy. Decreased accuracy is good, but not my biggest wanted debuff. 50% ally protection on all allies except this champion for 2 turns, and then 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. This is really good. I've seen some where it's ally protect on everybody, but increased defense on this champion. But to give increased defense on all champions and ally protection on all champions, except for her, is really good. Especially for clan boss, this is really good ally protect champion if you're trying to build an ally protection team. I'm just looking up her rating. Yeah, 4.5 stars for clan boss. She's a 4-star overall on Hell Hades. And yeah, I get it. I can see the value. Ally protect is something that I slept on quite a bit. Whenever an ally is attacked while under an ally protection buff, places a 50% decreased attack on the attacker. So that's good for waves like in Doom Tower. But I really like this because even if you don't get it to land on a 60-70% chance, then you have it guaranteed to land after he takes an attack. The clan boss, that is. So this is a really good clan boss champion, and I've been preaching about clan boss. This is a champion that I would love to get. So it kind of gives added value to some epics that are in the game, which I think is fun. I kind of think that's exciting. And it's a cool way to get some interesting legendaries. So I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on that. These epics I don't think are anything too crazy. They're not going to change a free to play account that much. It's nice to be able to do something with these rares other than just feed them. Same for these rares. But I'm kind of excited about both of those events. I think they're pretty. Or sorry, I'm excited about the fusion. I think this is exciting for free to play players to have something to kind of work towards and something to do with these other champions. I also like that there's value that you can find in these champions before, like if you do fuse Kira the Watcher, you can use her for sure fully ascended at 6 stars and just use her and use her and use her until you finish the rest of it. And maybe not, that's the one downside. I don't know that these epics have that much use. Tatsu has limited use, but interesting nonetheless. So I think this is really going to be a good opportunity for free to play players. Like, just imagine, like, you could get all 4 of these pulling Ancients one day, and then all 4 of these pulling Voids one day, right? So, as far as the rest of the epics, those will probably take a little bit longer to acquire, but once you do, you have a chance to get a legendary out of them. So I think that's pretty cool. Not too much else going on now that I'm not going to get something from this summon pool event, and I go to a Yumi Love to find out when the next 2X event is, and they're telling me November on that. So that feels very far away to me, and that's a little disappointing because I would love, a 2X for Voids or Sacreds. But if that's the case, then we're probably going to level another 6-star champion in between now and the next time I actually start pulling shards. So that's the next big debate for my account, is who is going to be my next 6-star. I'm leaning towards finally doing Sun Wukong. And the reason being that I'm feeling a little more comfortable about going into gold arena now. A gold 1 at least. Getting Sun Wukong mastered would really help me out there. I don't really have the kind of gear that I would like to have to support him, but he would be to get him to a more effective arena nuker level like Michael is would be good. Do I have an accuracy banner? No, okay. Plus having an accuracy banner for him, and then I know I have a crit damage neck. I'd probably actually build this one out because I would want more damage out of him. So I would, even though this one's been leveled before, I would build this one out. So I do think I would I could, get a lot of value out of him. Towards the not just arena but also wave clear and other Doom. Well, Doom Tower, I can't beat certain bosses. I don't have a shield champion, so even with the rings, it just occurred to me. I keep building a team. Maybe I need to bring a team. So would it be skinwalkers? Let me include equipped here and just look at rings. So a barbarian, a skinwalker, and sacred order. Maybe I just bring them. I don't even have to bring a barbarian either. Although, you know who would be good to bring? That's a barbarian, would probably be Soulbon. If I built her out. Not to 60, but she could work though. I might have to do that. How long do we have on Doom Tower? It feels like we're coming. Yeah, we still got a week. So just go into it with 3 characters. And just bring the 3 characters that have the shield rings and then see what that does for me. It'd be worth a try, right? Okay. So I might do that. That's an option. I do have a couple of questions. Well, first, let me know how you guys liked the intro. So my new intro came out. It's the new logo is going to go on all my account. That's going to happen this weekend when I have the time to go into all my Twitter, my Discord channel, which isn't quite public yet. My YouTube channel, and update the avatar to the new logo, but it's a red shield with roadblock under it. So and then my friend, well, my editor, he's my friend and my editor. He created it into an intro, which I really like, where it kind of slams down on the ground, and then you hear one of my other friends that yelled at me in the past and said, "Shoot him, Kevin!" And there's a cool story behind that, but it's a little maybe too long for this. It's not really a funny story. I was shooting at a guy in Apex Legends. I missed every single shot. He's like, "Just shoot him, Kevin." So, but anyways, yeah. So let me know what you guys think of the intro. I'm excited about it. I've been looking forward to it. I thought it was really well done. And yeah, so new logo will be out this weekend. We've got the intro. I have another segment I was thinking of doing because I'm getting more and more questions in the comments. And I always feel bad just like fitting these in at the end of a video because I know that, maybe not everybody has time to watch the whole video because these are half-hour videos. on average, and I try to keep them short, but I'm a rambler. I'm sorry. Um, but I had a couple of interesting questions come up. Number one was about the clan. So the clan is not a secret. Level 11 Roadblocks Vanguard. I'm full at the moment. Um, every member in here. I think Gen X just messaged me and said that he is going to be departing the clan. So, or I think he already has departed and won't be playing anymore. So I will probably have his spot open, and I give people a couple days to figure that out. And Alistar is one of my most active guys. It's just been on a bit of a hiatus right now. So I don't currently have a spot. Um, but I will say that raid players, they cycle through quite often. So keep an eye out. Just keep asking me. What I'll probably do is maybe put something once I get my Discord up and running. What I want it to be a little more professional than it is right now. Like, there is a Discord. It's super unprofessional, super unmoderated. Like, I don't want that for you guys. I want you to be able to come into a Discord channel and be assigned roles and be able to communicate with each other, but also do it in a safe environment that's not people coming in and spamming negativity and things like that. So until I can, that's probably gonna take me. That's like my next big project. The logo was my most recent project. Getting the Discord server up and running is one of the next ones. So, but where was I going with this? Because I know I wanted to talk about answering questions. So I thought about doing a segment called Question Block, kind of a play on words with my name, where I answer comments from the community. That's a work in progress as well. That's something that I plan to do in the near future. I just have to get that part figured out. In the meantime, what I want to do, I'm going to answer those questions now. So the one question was asking about the clan. Like I said, I'm full, but just keep an eye out. If a slot opens up in the clan, I will let I will usually let you guys know, and kind of go from there. The clan, we're a little struggling right now. A lot of my members, I put up almost 200, which this was one of my weaker efforts in Clan v Clan, and that's not on purpose. It's more because I've been so busy this week. I just finished school, new job. I've been talking about it a lot, so I don't need to go too much in depth on that. But we used to have 350,000 up here, and we've gotten away from that a little bit. So but with the new settings that are coming out, there's going to be a minimum for Clan v Clan that I'm going to set. That minimum is going to be 20,000. So we are going to probably see a few people that aren't going to be able to make that cut. And so slots may open in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. But just keep in mind, you're going to need at least to do 20,000 minimum on Clan v Clan. And I expect that number to go up as accounts get further along. I certainly was almost at 30,000. And the only reason I fell short was because I was we were winning and we lost ultimately. But we were winning at the time, and I thought, well, okay, I'll save up a little bit of energy for these events. And boy, was I wrong. So I learned a lesson there. Plus, I was a little greedy, not spending my epic books. Is that 400,000 worth of points? No, it's not. But still, I'm still in the early days of the account. I think as I start progressing here, things will get easier for Clan v Clan. But we're coming up on 30 minutes, so I want to finish my point. So that was the question. One of the questions I saw was like how to join Roadblocks Vanguard. So we've talked about that. The other question I saw was how do I have so many level 60s? This is probably the most important question that anyone could have asked me, and it's not a big secret. One champion at a time. What I see all too much of, and I even have it in my own clan. Who is it? There's somebody. I'm gonna find them. It's gonna take me forever, and I'm gonna feel really sorry because I'm wasting people's time. Maybe. Oh, did they not do their keys today? They must not. I have somebody in this clan that has a whole team of level 50s. And that's all that they have. Like, they didn't have anybody that was 6-starred yet. And I certainly hope they're not doing Ultra Nightmare. Or even Nightmare. Let me come all the way down here. Yeah, no, okay. I can't find them, but something I see a lot of people do is they get excited about too many champions at once. And they spread their resources over all these champions, and they end up having a whole bunch of 50s and no 60s. And what you don't understand is there's a giant gap between 50 and 60. And it's not just base stats either. It's a lot of things. I wish, so if we look at like Kale, for instance. So his base HP is 13,710 at 6-star Ascended. And then if we look at my other Kale who's in a vault, of course he is. All right. I don't have time. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But my point is that the gap between 50 and 60 is substantial in stats, but also substantial in other areas like getting access to a banner. Number one, that's just a whole bunch of extra stats that can make a big difference. Number two is masteries. So my Deacon Armstrong does over 1 million damage on Clan Boss, and he is not built for damage. We only have 2,000 attack on him. He's not crit capped. He's built to debuff, and he does 1 million damage. Why? Because he has War Master. 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 4% of the target's max HP for bosses. So War Master on single target, Giant Slayer on multi-hitters. It has a less % chance, but it has the potential to do more damage. So what this essentially does is just boosts that damage up for your champions. And it's very effective. So I never had Deacon in Lifesteal gear. Kale is in Lifesteal gear. Deacon is not in Lifesteal gear, but he heals himself back to full when he procs a War Master proc, which is a pretty consistent proc. And it does a ton of damage, and it actually makes a really, really big difference to have War Master. You have to be 60 to get it. And so that big leap makes a huge difference. So the first thing that I did was level up my starter champion to 6 stars. I fed my gems into him to give him full masteries and get War Master. And then I just use him as my campaign farmer. Now, where do I farm campaign? So in campaign, you go to brutal you'll have to work your way up if you're very new. But brutal difficulty 12-3. So when I say 12-3, I mean stage 12. Or sorry, level 12? What would you call this? Level 12, stage 3. The reason I farm here is technically, if you wanted the most experience, you could do, I think stage 6 is the most experience per energy, because this one goes up a little bit in energy. And Mortu is inconsistent. If he procs peril on you, you're screwed. So stage 6 would probably be the best for energy. However, shields sell for significantly more. So I sacrifice a little bit of energy to get more silver by selling the shields that I get from leveling up my champions. So you'll see here, these champions are ready to level, and I'm just going to throw in a random 2-star. So I send in Kayle. And it takes a little longer than it probably should. There are better campaign farmers than my starter champion. In fact, that's another reason why I might level up the Sun Wukong, because I could use him as the campaign farmer and probably get better results than what my Kayle's currently doing. But I still say Kayle should be your starter champ, your first level 60, because he brings more well-roundedness to the game. As far as, because he brings poisons, but he's also easy to book. He's easy to ascend. He's easy to level. Once you have Kayle, then that makes booking and ascending your Sun Wukong easier as well, if you want to go back and do that on the back end. Second, if you really want him to be your second 6-star, then you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I went Deacon. I'm happy with that decision. I'm happy with my other 2 rares that I have 6-starred over my Sun Wukong. But that's my opinion. I stand by that opinion, but there are different trains of thought, and I respect that. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about playing this game. So, but for me, I started with my Kayle. I got him up. I got him War Master, and he was able to go through and farm all this content for me. And by riding the back of Kayle, I was able to then use that to further my account and build up other champions as I have. So, the easiest one to do was Coffin Smasher, because I had a keg waiting for him and I had food ready for him. Would love to get a banner on this guy, but you'll see he's fully mastered, and he has Giant Slayer because because he has a multi-hitter. So we get a lot. We have 30% chance to do 3% on each hit. So, and that's HP based damage, so that's going to be really solid. And he attacks a lot because I have him in Relentless. But I digress. I could go on and on about this. So, that's how I have so many 60s. And as you can see, this video is much longer now because I chose to do this in the video. So for now, I'm gonna work on it this weekend, but I think this is definitely something for in the future. I'm gonna answer your guys' comments on a weekly series that I'm probably gonna call Question Block, and I'll give you guys my insights and thoughts on stuff that you ask me in the comments. So I'm gonna cut this one real short. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next one.